Ready? Start. I would especially like to welcome the Governor of Madhya Pradesh, Shrimati Anandiben Patel, the Governor of Odisha, Professor Ganeshi Lal, and the Governor of Mizoram, Shri K. Rajesh Kharan, who are participating in the conference for the first time. This conference is held annually, generally towards the beginning of the year. However, the 2017 conference could only be held in the month of October. Hence, this year's conference is taking place about 7 months after the previous one. Such conferences provide an opportunity for governors to interact and have meaningful discussions with the Vice President, the Prime Minister, the Minister of Home Affairs, members of the Council of Ministers, the Vice Chairman of Niti Aayog, and senior officials of the government, all of whom are participating in the conference. We will be discussing important issues and charting out the future course of action for these. In this context, the Conference of Governors holds a distinct significance. As per the Constitution, the post of Governor has an exalted place in the scheme of governance. The Governor is a mentor and guide to the state government and an important link in the federal structure. The people of the state view the office of the Governor and the Raj Bhavan as a fount of ideals and values. In the previous conference, we had discussed issues related to infrastructure, public services, and higher education in the states and skill development. Extremely useful and valuable suggestions were received from all of you. As agreed to at the previous conference, a committee of governors was constituted. The committee submitted its report in January 2018. The report envisages the role of governors as change agents in society. There will be a discussion on the actions taken on this report in session 4 today. While drafting the agenda for this year's conference, the central focus has been to sensitize all of you to the programs being implemented for the benefit of those of our fellow citizens who have been left behind in our development journey, and to hold an in-depth discussion on these programs. 115 aspirational districts across various states have committed themselves to speedy development. There will be a presentation and a discussion on the schemes being implemented in these districts. Understanding this background will help you guide a spectrum of stakeholders in their efforts to work for the welfare of the poor, women, scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, farmers and young people. The chief architect of our constitution, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, had a long relationship with Pune. He too stressed the importance of education as an instrument for social change and for building a just and egalitarian society. I am happy to learn that the government of Maharashtra has begun to celebrate November 7 as Students' Day. This was the day way back in the year 1900 when Baba Saheb Ambedkar enrolled in a school in Strata and began his lifelong pursuit of academic excellence. Values-based education helps promote ethics in society, and I can think of no better example as an upholder of values in our public life than Shri Lal Krishna Advani, who we are honored to have here with us today. The names and examples I cited earlier represent a gamut of our country's achievers and the spirit of our nation building project. These were people who struggled for our freedom from colonial rule and for an India free of caste, gender, and other forms of discrimination, for an India that could put right and redress both historical wrongs and contemporary inequities. Each one of them placed emphasis on education and on discourse that was informed by knowledge, wisdom, and learning. Each one of them placed emphasis on a culture of discussion rather than of dispute and of addressing disagreements while being mindful of the other person's dignity. This is the true attribute of an educated society, and this is the benchmark by which we measure Pune's intellectual vibrancy and reputation as a center of scholarship. Above all, this is the context in which the Sadhu Vaswani International School is carving out its space in this city. Education also has another aspect of molding young minds. After birth, a child is nurtured by those around him or her. Early learning takes place from family members who provide love and affection and shape instinct. Thereafter begins the child's longest journey in learning for about 15 years in a school. Teachers don't just impart knowledge of individual subjects, they sculpt the child's very identity. A child's habits, values, thoughts, strengths, resilience, determination, dreams, and actions are all influenced by the school environment. In a school, a child is taught history and geography, language and literature, mathematics and science. In class 9 and in class 11, children are examined in these and other subjects. They are given marks and grades. While not discounting the importance of such subjects, I would draw your attention to lessons that a child imbibes in a school that may not be formally tested in a board examination. These are the lessons of culture, character, compassion, and courage, and of coping with change in a society and a world evolving more rapidly than perhaps ever before.